Hello everyone, you got Corey here. It's been a whirlwind week on many fronts. Busy week. Wanted to just give a quick follow-up here. So had the good fortune to attend the blockchain summit in DC the other day and met a bunch of great people, projects, regulators, saw some old friends, met some new friends, that sort of thing. I want to quickly summarize my high-level takeaways. I'll have to do additional videos on all the various things that come from this, but I was having some calls this morning on the topic, and it made me think about the fact I should probably put something down here. So at a high level, what I took away from the blockchain conference, and you can check online, I'll put some links below. A majority of the House was there, a number of senators were there, regulators were there, investors were there, projects, the whole ecosystem. The main thing I'd say for folks is that this is the first time I can remember in my professional career that I've ever seen the federal government move this quickly on issues of legislation. So the best analogy I can give is that the federal government is moving at the speed at which crypto projects and participants typically think about how fast things are done. So that is definitely a sea change and something I've never seen before. What are some examples? So even while at the event, you had the DeFi rule, which is a rule related to reporting from the IRS perspective that was basically agreed that it would make it pretty difficult for DeFi projects to comply with, if not impossible. You saw that rule struck by both houses by the time this video is out, which is less than 24 hours from when it occurred. The bill is likely to have been signed into law, so that will have been overturned. The other thing you've seen is stablecoin legislation. I believe that came out during the event yesterday. And so there's going to be a lot on all these topics. I guess the other key highlight, other than the speed of government from a legislative perspective, is that it's pretty clear to me, based on what I've seen and heard, that we will likely see, or the goal at least, is to have all of the relevant market structure, stable coin, security, not security, all those sorts of high-level foundational and structural matters clarified at the congressional level, probably before Labor Day, meaning the Labor Day holiday and recess from Congress, to the extent, that can be done. If you would have told me this, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, that we'd be where we are, I'd say that's impossible. So for everyone watching this, I'm sure if you've seen the flurry of news and alerts and round tables and draft legislation and approvals, it shows us all that we've had a bit of a failure of imagination regarding what's possible and how fast government can move if people really want to move. So, won't do that again. Let's not have that failure of imagination. So in that sense, to speak of imagination, where could we go? Based on what we know today, which is again coming not quite 24 hours after the end of the blockchain summit in DC, I think where we can go from here, we're likely to see that full stablecoin legislation, and I'll be doing additional videos on that and all the different topics around it. The high-level comment on that is they are taking a different approach from Europe. I don't think the US is going to take a MiCA style approach. For folks who know me and seen things I've written in other posts over the years or tweets, you'll know that generally I'm a skeptic of the MiCA approach. To summarize my perspective on that, I think that the intent in Europe is to kill innovation by regulation and have one or two large EU-wide champions in the same way that you've got a large banking system with a few banks, and that's kind of how Europe is structured. I see the exact same structure via legislation. Now, I'm not saying that's the lip service of what people are saying. I'm saying that the end result of the legislation, knowing it as I do, that when we look back, let's say when we look back in 3 to 5 years, unless there's a drastic change in the, not in the legislative approach, but in the cultural approach to entrepreneurship in Europe, unless there's a drastic change, I suspect we see the digital asset ecosystem grow the same way we saw the tech industry grow over the last 20 or 30 years in Europe. So there may be some, but there won't be many. We'll kind of cut it at that, not to make this video too long. So with that, until next time.